Welcome. I'm excited. It's been a couple weeks since we've had a CRMX cash clinic. So here we are. Hopefully, some of you are going to be showing up with me here and watching the recording or live. Um, so you understand as you're watching this, we hold cash clinics pretty much every Wednesday. You can go to, I'll show you on, let's see. Might right here on the screen, crmxcashclinic.com. If you want to just get a quick reminder right before we go live, you'll get reminders because I get it. You're busy, like myself or anybody else. We're all busy. So go to Cash Clinic or crmxcashclinic.com and you can get the reminders. It's easier that way. And you can just register there. You can also unsubscribe from them anytime. It's not a big deal. All right. That said, we are going to jump in to this week's training. The topic today is all about how to maximize your sales pipeline, how to fill that pipeline and automate it, streamline it, make sure you're focusing on the right leads. And I'm going to do a full training, really how I personally would manage my sales pipeline. So that's what we're going to get into. And before I do that, I'm going to do some housekeeping, if you will, and make sure this is working. So right now, I'm getting several warnings where we might have to go live again and figure this out. Keep trying to let you know if it's resolved. Let's see if I can view it on, let's see if this is going live on Facebook and if it's working or not. I don't know. We're about to find out. Yep. So this might not be working live for us today, y'all. That's no fun. I might have to come right back and we'll start again. So hold on one second. We're having some technical difficulties. Okay, maybe I'm back. We'll see if this is working now. I think it's working. It just may not be streaming correctly. So what we're going to do is get started. I'm going to show you exactly how I would go about managing the sales pipeline today. Apologize for the technical difficulties, but that's just how it is. The show must go on. So right now, you also might be wondering if if there's a way to sign up for CRMX and you're not even sure what we're even talking about, and somehow you're on this live or somebody shared it with you. CRMX is a software that my team and I have developed. I'm the founder of CRMX, and it comes from being in the solar world. That was my background. I used to own a solar sales organization in San Diego, and we built that and sold that in 18 months from start to finish. And it was awesome ride. And since then, I decided to start building CRMX, which is a software for marketing and sales. And specifically right now, it's still very focused on just solar. So if you are in solar, if you're a business owner, you're a sales rep, you're a sales manager, and you want to get more out of your hard-earned leads, this is it. That's CRMX, okay? Now, the purpose of CRMX cash clinics, if you're here, whether you're a CRMX client or not, is because you want to get more out of the software, right? So I want to show you how to do that, how to maximize your sales pipeline today. So we're only focusing on that. Let me rock and roll. So here we are. I'm going to share my screen We're going to get into it. I'm also going to show you some new features to start us off today that I think you're going to like. It's pretty cool. Here we are, present screen. You will be seeing it in just 1 second. Entire screen, this one. Share. Okay, here we are. You should be seeing my screen. I'm going to zoom in a little bit because I'm on a big ass screen. And this way it'll help you see. So if I'm zoomed all the way out, it looks about like this. So I'm going to give it a couple zooms in. Okay. First feature before we go into the your pipeline, we're going to be talking about this and managing your pipeline and what this looks like and how to manage it and make it easy. But I actually want to let you know we have a new feature that came out where right now you may have known that you can do dashboards now, and that's not new. I mean, I guess could be called new. It's been a few weeks now or about a month now that we've had the new dashboard out. You can see you can drag and drop things and widgets. But did you know that you can now have multiple dashboards? So what is multiple dashboards? What's the use case here? First, you can have a generic dashboard. Let's call this just your general dashboard. And you can see right here, see how I have these and you can even pin them. But two, you can add another dashboard by going like this, and you can call this one, for example, it says opportunity overview, but you might want to just say, this is our sales dashboard. And you can say private to me or everyone, which is really cool. So like sometimes it's just, hey, I only like to look at certain things for me. This is my style of looking at it. That's why it's private to me. Everyone, view and edit, or view only. It's pretty cool. So I'm going to do everyone in this case. They can view and edit it. And let's do view only. I don't want anybody editing this specific dashboard. I'm the sales manager. I want it to stay this way. That's our example today. So now what you can do is add a widget. Here's some suggested ones, right? But let's just do the suggested ones for now. Let's do our funnel. And a funnel is based off of your sales pipeline, which we'll be going over today. And your sales pipeline stages will show up right here. Okay. You can choose different pipelines though, just so you're aware. The other thing you can do is you can change and filter this one by status change. So this is how it'll calculate your sales. I'm not going to go too far into this, but I'm just letting you know, you can say, hey, show me the sales report based on when it was created. These opportunities were created, or no, just show it based on when the opportunities change to the current status they are. So many times when you're doing a typical report, that's like how many new deals, how many new appointments, how many showed up this week that are all new, then you would do created on, because that's based on like this last week new stuff happening. So that you can add as many widgets as you want to this thing. Look, let's say I want to like show number of appointments total, the total count. I can do some advanced stuff. I can do some conditions. I can say, hey, status is showed, or just status is just new, confirmed. I can also add a condition that the calendar is only our in-home. So these are, and you can just name this. So I'm gonna hit save. So these are in-home appointments, right? So I have X amount, and then I could add another widget that says, perhaps I want to just see another number widget on how many, let's see, appointments showed. Let's do this one. It's already filtered for you. See, it's already made. So showed, and you can name these too, by the way. So if I go back here and I can call it appointment or showed, like in our world, we called them AKs, appointments kept. Okay. So I'd say, okay, number of AKs. This one's a number, ABs, appointments booked. That's how we did it in our sales team. You can do it however you'd like, but it just gives you a quick rundown. Okay, guys, how are we doing? Here's our appointments booked. Here's our appointments kept. And it's based off of this date range that you can do here. So I can change this date range and it'll change all my numbers. So in the past 7 days, if I want to report, or just like last week's report, and these numbers will update. Okay, pretty cool. But now welcome. You have a sales dashboard. You can create a marketing dashboard. You can make a generic dashboard. It's pretty neat of what you can really do with this. So that's the only thing that I wanted to go over for the feature today. What I'm going to do next is show you on pipelines and really walk you through. It looks like we don't have anybody going to be live with us, like on Facebook or anything. So that's unfortunate. I want to see if I can get this on Facebook and see if we're able to join, but I don't think it's going to be enough time for anybody to show up live with us. Let's see if I can. Pause with me here, and I'm going to jump into your sales pipeline, show you how I would set it up. Let's see. I'm going to post this just to get a few of you live so I can do some Q&A too. Let's see, Cash Clinic, link in the comments below. Boom. Boom. There we go. All right. So hopefully some of you will be able to join us there. Let's go ahead and get going with the sales pipeline. So what I'm going to do is show you first how I would set up the stages of my sales pipeline, why I would do it that way, and some of the things that some people think they have to do and it's not necessary. And I'll show you why it's not necessary. It seems necessary at first. Everyone wants to overcomplicate their sales pipeline, and it's not needed. I'll show you how I would set up the stages, and then I'm going to show you how I would automate some of the stages to where it's administratively, I call it admin automations. So it's not like it's automating communication with the customers, which I will tell you one of the biggest mistakes is to do that. Like, don't automate communication to customers or contacts based on stage changes. Don't ever do that. It's a bad idea, and I'll go into that later. But I'm going to show you how to add administratively set up automations so it makes your life easier, and it just keeps you focused on what you should do, which is follow up and communicate with the right people at the right time and ensure that you're closing as many deals as possible and working as many deals as possible. So I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant right now before I do this, though. Look, I was on a call earlier today, and I just hit my speaker, and sometimes that ruins my mic. Hold on one second. Let's see what we got. Hopefully you guys can hear me still. Yeah. Okay. I think it still hear me. Here's my rant. I was on this call, and it was if you didn't know, with CRMX you have you can sign up for the monthly subscription, and that's fine. That's normal for any CRM that you can sign up for. There's a monthly fee, but then also you can have us and have our team, and even me, train your team. You can sign up for like an extra services package, if you will, to where, hey, I have a team. I really want you guys to help onboard us and train us and help us maximize our ability with CRMX. And it's worth to pay it for, it depends on your circumstance, but it's worth the investment to ensure that you're getting as many sales out of the systems and tools you're using, right? So I'm doing, imagine me training this team, and I'm seeing they had this, and one of the sales reps was asking me questions, and I opened up their sales pipeline, and they had like 3 deals in here, and they've had it for at least a month, at least. And he's had his login for at least a month, and he's been logged in, and I'm thinking in my head, why in the hell do you have 3 people in here in your pipeline? And so I asked him nicer than that, why do you have only 3 people? I'm a little bit confused. And he said, well, I just keep them in my phone right now because I don't know, I'm just a little bit nervous, or I just don't understand how to use all this. And I guess I do know how to add them here. I'm just not in the habit of that. And I said, well, how do you, okay, fair enough. But how are you following up with the people in your phone? Why would you put them in your phone? Well, I'm not following up with them. So why don't you think you're following up with them? Well, because I don't really have any notes or I don't know where they left off. And I said, so don't you think it'll be pretty advantageous for you to get serious in a 24-hour period, not in a month? You have 24 hours to figure this out. It's not hard. This is not rocket surgery, rocket science, or anything that's hard. Just because it's new does not mean it's hard. It just simply means you have to actually expand your brain and log in. It's not hard. Log in, go to your dashboard, go to your pipeline, and start adding people. And what I discovered was people get stuck in the dumbest possible things in our brains, right? Like, I get it, I understand, but I'm not going to let that be an excuse for you failing in your sales. I think you need to get over it. So if that's you and you come into your pipeline and you have 2 people in here and you have maybe this one here and one here and it's been a month, it's been a week, god damn, like, get some leads, get busy, fill up your pipeline, follow up with them, do the right thing. You got yourself to support, you got your family to support. I don't know what else you want me to say, but get your pipeline full and start moving and working your deals, right? These are deals, these are opportunities in the official CRM language. These are opportunities you're working. Move them through a closed deal. That is your job in sales. That is a job as a sales manager. And if you own the sales org or the install org or whatever it is, but your job is to ensure that these deals get closed, as many as possible. But you can't do that if no one's adding their deals into the pipeline. So that's what we're here for, guys. I want to make sure that you're working your pipeline, but you can't work a pipeline that's empty. So how do you fill it up? Let's just talk about, I'm not talking about lead generation. I'm talking about you're getting leads, you're out knocking doors, you're buying leads, you're essentially out there getting leads. Let's assume that's happening. You're just not putting them into the sales pipeline or into CRM, into the CRMX pipeline. Okay. So let's jump in. Here's what we got. First of all, how do you get a new opportunity in here? I'm going to show you several ways. Let's do that first. Then I'm going to show you how to automate it. So these are opportunities. This is what one looks like successfully. Let's say they came in a new lead. And the idea is that you would say, okay, this one showed interest after they became a new lead. Then I booked an appointment. I got on the phone and or on the door and I booked an appointment with them. So now they're in the sales appointment booked stage. Let's say they went through each one of these stages. Then they were a no-show. So I'm rescheduling them. Then I got them back in. So now they're booked. And then finally they showed up and the appointment was kept, but I didn't close them yet. So that's appointment kept, follow-up, FU. And then finally I closed the deal. And there's no stage for close the deal. All I do is I can drag into one right here. Oops, I didn't do it right. Drag it into one right there. Or I can just click on this. This is my preference. I just like to click on it and say 1, update, and it will disappear from this view in just a moment. So there we go. It disappeared from the view because there is a filter that's the default that says only show me my deals that are open, not closed or lost. I just want to see the ones I need to work. Now, if you want to see the ones that are won or lost or anything, you can say apply. Okay. So now they'll show up. You can see these ones are won, and that's great. Okay. So that's me. Those are the stages. That's just me manually moving things in my pipeline. So let's talk about these stages. And actually, what I just showed you is these stages are ideal. These are your ideal stages for a sales pipeline. Here's why. New leads, anything new. I'm talking any lead source. They come in here. They should arrive here. You actually ideally want this to automatically show up in here. I get that some need to be entered manually. That's fine. But automatically is even better. Automatically would be if you have a door knocking app, like a Sales Rabbit or a Canvas or anything else. You would integrate it with CRMX, and right when you enter the lead, it's not an appointment. I'm not talking about on the doors you're knocking and you get an appointment. That's all. That's a lead plus an appointment, right? I'm just talking about they're a lead, a contact record that said, sure, I'm interested, but not right now. Like, follow up with me later or whatever. When you enter them in on your door knocking app, they could, if you integrate it, it'll just show up here for you right here. Also, when you're paying for leads on Facebook, and they fill out the form saying, yes, I'm interested on your Facebook ads, they would show up right here. You can integrate all of this and automatically they would show up here. So you're not having to manually enter them. Okay. There are some that you're going to manually enter. Sometimes somebody just calls you and texts you and refers somebody to you and says, hey, I wanted to connect you with my friend Bob, who's interested in solar. Great. So how do you get them in here? You can come to your pipeline. That's one way. And you can hit add opportunity. You can come to contacts and you can say add contact and then add the opportunity to a contact. And I'll show you the difference between a contact and an opportunity in a second. But, or you can go to an existing contact, let's say Steve Rogers right here. And you can say, oh, I want to add the opportunity to their record here. And I would scroll down. This is all of Steve Rogers details, everything you ever want to know about Steve Rogers is in here, right? So you can scroll down and also say, I want to add the opportunity as well. So, oh, excuse me, not the, let me zoom out here because it might look funny. This is how it traditionally would look, more like this. It's a little crammed up because I'm zoomed in. But you go to opportunities here. You can see I already have one for them, but you could add one right here. So what does it look like when you're adding an opportunity, and what's the difference between opportunities and contacts? So first of all, a contact record is just a contact. It doesn't even actually mean they're a lead. Maybe they're a closed deal. Maybe they're a past customer. Maybe they're somebody who showed interest 2 years ago, but they're not a sales opportunity anymore. They don't belong in your pipeline necessarily, right? So that's a contact record. Usually it's some kind of lead, or it's even a customer or a referral. It doesn't matter where they came from, but they're a contact that showed interest or was interested or already has solar with you. Okay. That's a contact record. A sales opportunity is taking a contact record and saying, hey, this person is interested right now, and I want to create an opportunity card. That's what this little thing is, to manage that sales opportunity in my sales pipeline. Okay. So there are actually two different things: contact records and opportunity cards. Okay. So how do I add one? I would actually, my favorite way is just to come to the pipeline. If it's brand new, even if they're not a contact record yet, I'll say add opportunity. And then I would start typing their name and it'll say it doesn't exist. So let's just say it's Sarah Smith and there's like no Sarah Smith. So you'll see this little plus sign, hit Sarah Smith. It added them. You can add their email here. You can add their phone number here. And the opportunity name defaults to their name, but you could have multiple opportunities for Sarah Smith. Let's say she's actually an investor and has several rental properties, and she wants to put solar on 3 different of her homes. Well, then you can say this one was on 123 Marvel Avenue. And that would help you understand when you're looking at this opportunity compared to her other one that might be 123 Spider-Man Avenue, and the other one's 123, DC Avenue, right? So she has 3 different properties. Her name's on it with a different address. It just gives you an idea which one you're working and which one's closed and which one's moving through the pipeline. Okay. The sales pipeline is where I want it. New lead stage. She shared interest in this. Like she said, no, I'm interested. I just need to contact her. I know she's interested. And I got a hold of them. She expressed interest. Status is open, lost, won, or abandoned. You want to open. You're working this deal. You don't need opportunity value right now. I'm the sales rep and I don't need any followers, although you could add a follower to this. Like if there's a setter, you can add them so they can see it in their pipeline too and know what's happening based on the closers updating it. If they have a business name, you can put it there. Don't worry about tags for now. Opportunity source. Let's say this was a referral. And that's just for my note where they came from. And now when I hit create, you'll see what's showing up for you. Let me show you. Right here. When I zoom in like this, I've noticed that sometimes it does not like that. I need some kind of hold music. There it is. Okay. So see how I'm going to zoom back in. see how this is showing. I just put them in that stage, Sarah Smith, and you can see their address. This is why this might be helpful if they have multiple properties. Most in solar, most of the time, you're not dealing with somebody with multiple properties. It's usually a one-off homeowner, if you're in residential, that is. And you can see this thing right here where I said referral, it shows up right here so you can remember where that came from. If it was like door to door, you could put D to D or door to door. You could put Facebook ads. You can do whatever. You just or organic or Facebook group or whatever. That's just for your note. It's like a quick note. The opportunity value right here is here. If you don't want to see some of this, guys, you can actually go to menu, additional information, and you can hide some of this. Okay. So you can hide if you don't want tags. See right here and apply. It'll actually hide any of their tags that are showing up. You can also do notes. You don't want that, or tasks or anything else. You can actually hide those things, just so you know. But I'm going to just go ahead and just say we're good to go. I like it. So now I have an opportunity. So I just want to make sure if you're a CRMX client that you're at least doing this. This is the minimum. This is the absolute minimum. I enter my leads and I fill my pipeline. That's it. It's not hard. You can even, if you have a bunch in a spreadsheet, you can import them and you can ask our team and we'll help you import them in here to actually import them not only into contacts, but also create in bulk all your opportunities. It takes a little finagling and some, it takes some expertise on how we can do it in bulk, but you can just ask our support team and we'll do it. You just click on the little bubble here, go to support. And if you're chatting during hours like now, this, you can start a chat right now and just say, hey, I need some help creating my pipeline, filling up my pipeline with some leads. I need to import them and get them into my pipeline. Brent told me you could help me. How does that work? What do you need from me? And then we can start that chat, or you can submit a ticket if you want to just do like details now and submit everything you need. Okay. All right. So just make sure that you get them in there. Don't let it be an excuse of why you don't have your pipeline filled up. Okay. Now that you filled it up, let's talk about the stages. New leads, interested, sales appointment booked, rescheduled appointment, and appointment kept. FU. You don't have to use these names, but these are the main stages. There's very few times people will always try to tell me, well, I don't like those. I'm going to maximize this a little more. I want to have other stages too, Brent. Like I don't like just having those stages. I'm like, I get it. That's fine. That's fine. But just understand you're making it more complicated. And the more complicated you make it, the less action and less results you get across the board almost every time with any industry and anything you do. Complication equals less results. Okay. So, and because it's not simple to do, it's not simple to follow, it's not simple to execute. So keep the minimum amount of stages. This is the minimum amount. So especially for solar or anybody who sells with appointments. Okay. Now, why not more stages? Well, keep in mind, I don't like the first thing that somebody wants to add is a closed deal or sell whatever you call it, signed contract stage. I'm like, guys, you don't need to see a column that shows you your closed deals. This is a sales pipeline, not a trophy pipeline. You don't need to see a trophy over here that makes you feel good. You're working deals. You're trying to get people to move. Okay. So keep your brain focused. Don't have a stage over here with a bunch of stuff in here that's just in your way. They have a stage called one for a reason. You won that deal. So what you do, if you want to see your one deals, go ahead and filter and just turn this on right here. It says one, right? So I'm going to turn it off though. And you'll see these in green right here. It's hidden behind my little window. Apply. They're going to disappear because I've already won those deals. I don't need to work those deals. They're gone. They're fine. I don't need to worry about them. Right. You shouldn't be managing your customers from here, the signed deals. You should only be managing your prospects. That's the focus. So see, they're not in my way. They're not ruining my focus. I have 2 deals in here. I got to move them through and get them to a closed deal or appointment, or a opportunity is 1, in other words. Okay. Again, if I wanted Steve Rogers to be 1, I just met with him. I can say 1, change it to 1. It'll update here just in a second. In fact, I want it to also go to appointment kept as well. There we go. So it disappeared because it's one, right? And let me show you one more time. And there it is. It's showing up still. It's not gone forever. It didn't get deleted. It just hides. Good. So there's that. There's secret number one. A little tip, I should say. Don't put too many stages in here. If you want to see your one deals, just turn the filter on and you'll feel good, and then turn it back off and stop being a baby. Like, you're here to close deals. You're not here to see the deals you closed. Are we on the same page? All right. So next, how do we make sure that our stages names are changed? You're like, hey, I like these stages, I just don't like the names of them. Well, all you need to do is come up here under, there's pipeline and pipelines. Pipelines is like where you can manage several pipelines, and you can create different ones. Like there's one for virtual sales. Let's say you have like a door-to-door sales team and a virtual, and you want to separate the pipelines. That's fine. You can also create a customer pipeline, like new customers. But for now, I'm just showing you this one. So sales pipeline, and you don't want, or you don't like the names of these, you can change the names right here. So you can just say, instead of new leads, you can just say leads. You could say interested, or you could say like hot leads instead of interested, because you didn't like the word interested, right? It doesn't really matter. I'm not going to change them here. I'm going to leave them alone. I might leave that just appointment kept. We don't need, like, we know to follow up, so I don't need the note that says FU right there, follow up, and we're good. So what are these actions over here? There's this little pie and this little funnel, or delete. Delete is just delete the stage. So that, and you can add more stages here. Again, refrain from adding more stages to your sales pipeline if you can. So here's what's cool is this. You can say, make this visible in my funnel chart, or visible in pie chart, the whole funnel. Okay, that's great. But right here under these actions, I'll show you in your reporting, that's all these mean. So if I click, see how it goes gray and then green. Green is on, gray is off. Okay, and if you hover over this, it'll remind you, hide from pie chart on your dashboard. So hey, I don't really need the pie chart thing on. I don't need to see new leads. I only want to see just sales appointments booked, appointments rescheduled, and excuse me, not even rescheduling, just kept. I just want to see how many were booked and how many were kept in my pie chart. Okay, great. In this case, though, in the funnel, I want to see how many people moved all the way through the funnel. So I like having all these stages. And by the way, you'll see on your dashboard in a minute, I'll show you. See, there's 5 stages. It's going to show this. And then it does have on the dashboard report, for your funnel report, it's actually going to have, naturally, it already puts the stage 1. So you know your 1 deals and the conversion rate from appointment kept to 1 deals. Okay, so you'll actually see the conversion rate. So I'm going to hit save. And get out of here. It is pausing on me. Hold on a second. My internet just told me there is a slow connection. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. Sorry. I'll just have to do the good old refresh. My internet's being really bad for me. Come on. Hey, I see a comment. Pete, I see your comment. Love it. Thank you. Pete, if you want to stick around and ask some questions, go for it. I'm going to be answering questions here in a minute. Come on. It's like I just killed the whole internet. I can't even like click on anything. Oh snap. That's never a good thing, huh? Killing the internet. Hopefully I'm still live. Hey, there we are. We're back. We're back in business. Okay. So here we are. I'm going to go to my dashboard. I told you the pipeline. There's 4 stages, new leads. See, I'm on the sales pipeline right there. And these are my stages you just saw. That's what's it's pulling from. Okay. Do you guys understand? So if I go to pipeline, it's right here. And then I go back to my dashboard. Guess what's showing up here on this funnel report? And remember now, and I don't know if you saw earlier, but you have you have multiple dashboards, which is a brand new feature as of today. You can have a sales dashboard, a marketing dashboard, and you can put different widgets, reporting widgets on each dashboard, which is actually super badass. So good job on the development team for getting this ready. So here's what's cool. You see this? I want to teach you how to read your sales pipeline quickly. One of the biggest things that I hated was our reporting on our weekly sales meetings. So we had 3 sales teams, or no, 2 sales managers, or sales teams, and 4 sales managers, two sales managers on each team. And these guys were intelligent. Don't get me wrong. These guys were really smart. They're really hard workers, but there was something that sucked every time. And it was this. We would come to our sales meeting on Mondays, and I think it was at like 10 or 11 a.m. in the mornings. And this is in San Diego a couple of years ago when I had our team. And we'd sit down and say, okay, great. Here's our marketing reports. Here's how things are going. Here's our conversion rates. Here's our, customers, and here's how many people who were moved from X stage to PTO, and congratulations and great. And then we came to the sales reports, and everyone was kind of like, before we had this, it was like, let me just, and they had like, they would count them, and how they got their reports, I kid you not. Well, maybe you can relate. It just blows my mind that people make it this damn hard to be accurate in their reporting, because it's not hard. Let's say they have a team of 10 people, and they're all commenting in a chat, like we used to Google Chat. You can use other chats, and they would report, hey, I have a booked appointment. Oh, a new appointment. Appointment was kept, closed deal, new appointment. And they're in this chat. There's this feed happening. And that is how they counted how many appointments were booked and how many were closed. And then they had to like do the calculations. And then of course the sales manager would show up to the sales meeting sometimes unprepared. So they're like counting it as fast as they can in this chat. And there's like 5 to 10 or 20 reps on each team. And so then they're counting, and they're not ready ever. And even then, even if they had them, we don't even know if it's accurate. Somebody could easily just say, sure, I got an appointment, or they miscounted. And it was never something we could trust. So therefore, it was just created this like frustration between marketing and sales big time, because it's like, we're doing all this effort to get you guys going and give you the tools, and you don't even know how to fucking count. Sorry, excuse my language, but like, you got to be using the right tools to report your stuff. So guess what? Finally, we made a rule, and here's what I would suggest you do with your team. If it didn't happen in the CRM, it didn't happen. That's our rule in our company. If it did not happen in the CRM, in other words, it wasn't updated here, then you can consider it never happened. Even if you got a closed deal a month ago and you're supposed to be paid on it, if you did not mark it as closed and won on the CRM, it didn't happen. You can get your paycheck in a couple weeks. Part of our policy in order to get paid was the CRM must be updated, period. It's not a big ask. It's a very small ask to get a salesperson to update their damn sales pipeline. So if you're that salesperson that is a pain in everyone's ass, shame on you. Man, you make everyone's life hard. Fix your game and become a better person, would you? Oh man, I love yelling at salespeople. Okay, so I'm a salesperson, by the way. I get it. I'm more of a marketer, but I do sales. So here's the thing. Learn how to organize your pipeline, and this number becomes really cool. So guess what? How powerful this is. Can you imagine coming to a sales meeting now on Monday, and you don't have to, you can assume, because you have a policy that says if it didn't happen in the CRM, it didn't happen. You can come in here and you go like this, you click this, and you say last week's results. Just show me last week, which is in this case 11/26 through 12/2. Okay, that's last week. I hit confirm, and it shows me. Now, I get that this is a sandbox account, guys. There's nothing in here. There's no data for that, but it would show me how many quantity. If I hover over this, it shows me the quantity, that little 0 with the blue. Do you see that little pop-up window? That's how many. But more importantly, I want to know the percentages. So I'm gonna open this up a little more so it captures those make believe this year. There we go. There's not many in here, but see this? It says I had 4 new leads. Let's pretend this is last week's report. 4 of them were interested. 3 of them we booked appointments with. 5 of them were rescheduled, or 3 of them were rescheduling. 3 were kept. 3 were won. Now, the reason why is because it's all of those leads besides this one of them is still in interested or new lead stage, I'm guessing is what it is. Let's check it out. Yeah, right here. So this one's stuck and everything else is won. Okay. And so the dashboard is showing us according to that. That is what's happening. Let me go back to my sales dashboard. So that means out of 4 deals, one of them still stuck and interested, and the rest got closed. Well, here's what's cool. You can see the percentages from the previous step. So this says 75% of all of our interested leads, just the previous step, we booked appointments. Out of those 75%, 100 of them we had to reschedule, meaning like they moved into the rescheduling stage. 100% of them, but 100% out of those were kept, meaning we rebooked them, we got them kept, and we closed all of those deals. 100% of the previous step. You see this previous step. So what this will look like, the point is now you know conversion wise easily. And now that you have multiple dashboards, guess what you can do? You don't necessarily have to have multiple dashboards in order to pull this off, but it'd be kind of cool. If you have multiple sales teams like we did, you could say sales team number 1, 2, and 3, and you can have a dashboard just for their sales team and share it with just them. So pretty cool. But I guess what I'm trying to get at right now is, guys, the whole point of your pipeline and keeping it updated is so it's easy to improve as a sales team. Now, as a sales rep, it's easy to improve, but you're using the pipeline more primarily to track and close deals, right? So you can see as a team, this becomes so powerful. Your pipeline is where you live. You are doing everything from your pipeline. Any other questions here? Pete Waters, you were saying, hey, love it. You were calling everybody's babies. Yes, I do that sometimes. I'm sorry. I'm an 80s child. I'll say idiot, stupid, baby. I mean, if I offend you, you can, I know I'm not going to offend you, Pete. But if I offend you, anyone watching, it's okay. You'll get over it. It's you don't need to worry about it. I don't mean that much to you. I'm pretty sure. So if you're offended, you can go cry in your pillow and come back and watch the training and get some damn sales, right? All right. So here we are. I'm going to add a few more deals to show this pipeline on how it works for you. And then I'm going to show you how I can automate it. So ready? I'm going to see how fast I can make these. So let's just say, I have another one for Tony Stark. Open, new lead, sales pipeline, create. Oh, I have my settings that I can't have multiple opportunities. If that ever happens to you guys, it has a warning. Just come in here, guys, under CRMX settings. It's just a default setting. You can turn it right off. You can say allow, it's up here. Allow duplicate opportunity, and you're good to go. Okay. So now watch. Excuse me. Let me get a drink. Here we go. Now watch when I do this. Duplicate opportunities means Steve Rogers can have multiple opportunities. It's open. That's all I'm really looking at. It's in the right sales pipeline. Create. Done. Let's create another one real quick. I want one for Bob Marley. Open. I'm the sales rep. I don't need any followers. We're good here. I want one more. Let's see. Steve Rogers again. Let's call this one Steve Rogers. Again, you could say like 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. Captain America Avenue. If you guys don't know, I'm a super Marvel nerd. Okay. There's that. So I have one that's just Steve Rogers right here, right? And then I have one that, let's call this one Shield Avenue. I'll call this one 3, 4, 5 Shield Avenue. Opportunity, that one. Boom. Okay, so I updated that one. And I'm going to go ahead and filter. I'm just showing you guys exactly how I'd be managing my pipeline. I'm like, hey, I want to just see what's going on, right? Okay, here we go. So here's my pipeline. Let's do one more. I want one more. Bob Marley, another one. Guys, I'm just doing this because I don't want to have to create new contacts. So I'm just creating multiple opportunities per contact record. Let's call this 7, 8, 9. Sales. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now I have my opportunities created. And Bob Marley is going to show up here in a second. Just sometimes it takes a second for it to create. Like if I click off of here and then click back on, it's here. There he is. Okay, so now I'm going to put them into different stages though. So this is going to start. Watch, I want to show you this on my dashboard. Okay. So now you can see there's 8 opportunities under new leads, and I'm going to put a report for the last 7 days because now it's going to show these new leads that have been created in the last 7 days. You follow? And I want to demonstrate this is how easy it should be for you guys to keep up. So now I'm going to say, cool, Bob Marley, I booked an appointment. Steve Rogers is rescheduling appointment. This one was kept. And Bob Marley right here, this one was 1. Appointment kept, but then I'm going to mark it as 1. So I'm going to just click on it and mark it as 1. I just closed this deal. Woohoo. I'm awesome. I closed the deal. Good. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to come back to your dashboard and it's going to update your reporting. My sales dashboard. I'm going to make sure it's still last week or last 7 days. And now you can start seeing their true percentages, my conversion rates. All 7 leads were there, right? But then it shows that they all moved through interested. 6 of them we booked appointments with. 6 of them went through the rescheduling, but then 5 only made it to appointment kept, and I closed 4 of those deals. So therefore, I won 80% of my deals. Make sense? These percentages right here are from the previous step. So out of all my leads, 100% of them made it to interested. And out of those, 85% I booked appointments with. And out of the 85 or out of my appointments booked, all of them I had to reschedule with because I moved them through that. And then from there, out of everybody that I rescheduled with, I had to appointments kept. Now let's say, or 83% of them from the here. Let's say I don't want this stage showing up here. I'm like, this is useless to me. I get that it's nice to see that on a number, but I just want to know the conversion rate between sales appointment booked and kept. So let's get rid of this stage in the reporting only. You follow? So here we go. Go into here, go to your pipeline. I'm editing the pipeline. Sorry, I went back so I could show you. I'm moving. I know I'm moving quick here. Come on. Yep, there we go. So I'm going to get rid of sales appointment booked. I'm not going to delete it. Don't do that. Just under your reporting here, your chart, just get rid of that one here. Okay. Oh, not that one. Sorry. Appointment, reschedule appointment. We want to get rid of that one. Okay. So now when I go back to my dashboard, and I'm looking at my sales. Boom. There we go. You guys see it? So out of all of my appointments booked, it says that all of them were kept, right? So 100% of my previous step were kept. And then again, 83% of my appointments that were kept closed. Now I know that's not probably going to be the case for you guys. Like especially the more you fill up your funnel and your pipeline. So this is how you can do your reports really quick. So now on Mondays, I can come back and say, cool, how did we do last week? Boom, show my steps. And this, since I don't have any leads in last week, I would just say the last 7 days. Great. Here's my percentages. Great job, guys. I can see you closed. You have an 80% closing rate. That's phenomenal. Great job. Kudos to you. You win the competition or whatever, right? All right. So there's that. Now the last thing I'm gonna go over in the next 10 minutes here, and then we'll go into some Q&A. Well, I'll answer some Q&A. Hey, so Pete's still with me. Pete says, I saw a comedy show last week where the guy was making a case to bring retard back. I will not deny that I use that word often with my family. Oh man. Pete, could you have a duplicate opportunity exist where it is assigned to two different reps and they could not see each other's updates? No, they will see each other's updates. You can, yes, you can have two different reps assigned because you can have followers, but they will see is now that they're a follower and they can see that one opportunity, they're going to see all the updates. Meaning, if somebody moved it to one stage, they're going to see that it moved. It's going to move for both reps. If you add a note to that, here, let me just show you visually. So if I move this here, I don't have another user in here. Let me just show you. I'll move quick, guys. Some of this you'll just learn how to do stuff real fast. So here we go, Bob Marley. Let's see, Bob Marley Gmail. I just need it to be a valid, somewhat valid email here. Okay. I'm just making a user real fast, guys. Let's say they're just a sales rep. That's fine. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to say only, well, no, I'm not going to worry about this. Just so you know, when you add a user, this is a really quick side note. You could say, hey, they only can see what's assigned to them. Okay. So Bob, this new user, can only see contacts, appointments, and sales pipeline opportunities that are only assigned to them, including any of the conversations and via text and email. They will only see those conversations that are assigned to those contacts that they're assigned to. Okay. If you want them to see all the data, then you would toggle this back off like this, and they will see everything. Okay. So I'm going to just pretend like that's what they want. And then typically, and we have in our help menu, guys, you can click right here. If you ever want to know, get reminded, say, add user, and watch. I hit enter, add additional user, how to add additional users right here. And you can go to how to add sales reps as users. And it just is our preferences. There's a video that explains it here, but here's a quick, what I wanted you to see these permission settings. This is an idea of how you would do it. So I would just match that. I'd say, okay, so turn that one off, that one off. There's some of these are like new. So you'll see like it's not quite in that order that you'll realize. So like communities, that's new. They don't need to see that. Assigned data I'm having on lead value websites. They don't need to see any of this. I just want to give you guys an idea of what this might look like. Workflows, I'll keep on. What else? You don't need all this on. You guys follow? So let's say those are my settings. I don't want them to be an admin. I just want them to be a user. I'm adding them as a sales rep. Sorry, Pete. I know you weren't asking this, but that gives you an idea. So there's my sales rep added. Now, what I wanted to get to, Pete, with your question is hey, can you actually assign somebody? So one, you can assign followers. So if you didn't know, that's brand new in the past like month and a half. So what you can do, I might need to refresh because I just added a user. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. There's Bob Marley. I'm going to add as a follower. So now Bob Marley, I had that toggled on where he can only see what was assigned to him, right? But I'm the owner. Bob won't even be able to necessarily like make updates or excuse me, they can make updates, but they won't be able to change it over to them as the owner. Only the owner can change the owner of the contact. Okay. But a follower can at least see everything that's happening. So I'm going to update. Now Bob's going to see it. Okay. And your question was, will they see the updates? So when I move Sarah over here, will Bob, the follower, see it? Yes. If I make a note on Sarah, like this, will Bob see that note as a follower of Sarah's opportunity? Yes. So just making sure that's clear. But Bob cannot come in here and take over the opportunity, move it around and reassign it to anybody. Good. All right. Gotcha. We're good. Perfect. All right. Let's move on to pipeline automations. I want to show you some of the things we've already built into CRMX, but you may not even be aware of it. And I want you to leverage it and take advantage of it. That's the goal right now. Okay. So here we are. We're going to take a quick break. If you're watching this and this is my commercial, you should sign up for CRMX. So if you go to the little scrolling banner at the bottom, you should see CRMXfreetrial.com, CRMXfreetrial.com. See like this, CRMXfreetrial.com. And you'll come into here and you can sign up for any of our plans here. Most people sign up for the middle one, which is only $2.99 a month, 50 users, and you get everything here. Good. You can upgrade or downgrade at any time, by the way. There are no long-term contracts as of right now. The only one that will have a contract in the future, this is brand new, will be this one. It'll be a 3-month agreement rather than just month to month. So, all right, that's it. Go sign up. You can get a free trial. This is the only one we have a free trial on currently on the Pro Edition. It pretty much has every feature that you would want to at least test out first in order to get an idea if you like CRMX. You just say try free, and it gives you a 14-day free trial. Cool. All right, that's where to go to get your free trial. Back to business. We're going to show you how to automate your pipeline stages and make it easy. So workflows or automation is where you can set up things to save you time and keep you organized. These are all below the line, I like to say, is settings and organization and back-end office stuff. Above this line on the left here is managing your sales. Essentially, using the CRM to communicate and close deals. So you can see how you have your conversation, you have your dashboard, so you can track. You have your conversations, you have your calendar, you're like booking appointments, you have your contacts that you're managing and adding and and filtering by, and you can do everything with contacts. That's a whole nother training. Pipeline is what we're working on today. And then payments, if you were taking payments for some reason, most solar companies don't have to use payments, but it is an option. It's a feature. Otherwise, just skip over this. It's really 1, 2, 3, 4 things that you use. Now, when it's time to automate things though, and you want to like create some back end processes to keep you organized and streamlined, that's where you come below the line. Okay. Hopefully that helps you. So I'm going to just search. You can search what already exists. And I'm going to say, just search pipeline. And we already have some pre-built stuff. There's pipeline automations. There's some update, some pipeline stages. There's a referral pipeline automation, sales pipeline automations. Like you have all this stuff, but sales pipeline automations is in this folder. So this right here that I went to, when I typed pipeline, that's a folder. You see how that looks like a folder? This is an automation inside of a folder. Okay. So I'm just going to click on this one and it shows me all these pipeline automations. So what are they? Well, here's what it looks like. So when you have an updated, when the appointment is set, we just named it like this, by the way. This is our own naming conventions. You can name these whatever you want. But what matters is not the name. It matters more what they do. Okay. So I'm going to walk you through appointment set. It's going to update the pipeline stage. Okay. So let's see what that looks like. If there's things called triggers, and then it's going to take this action. This is what we want it to do right here. We want it to update the sales pipeline, create the opportunity in your sales pipeline. Okay. And it's going to put it in this sales pipeline right here. It's going to put it in this stage, which remember we have these stages. It's going to move it. Even if it's in new leads stage, it's actually going to move and update it to sales appointment booked because we just booked an appointment, right? And then it's going to make sure and update the opportunity name if it needs to be updated. And then it'll apply a value if you want it to. I'm just going to keep it. It just says 5,000 to give you an idea. You can put it at 0 or no value at all. And then the status should stay open. And then this thing should be toggled on. and just know that it's there. Excuse me, hold on. I'm gonna open up this water. I don't need to be drinking caffeine this late. So what I'm showing you right now is just, hey, how can I just make sure every time if I'm booking an appointment, I don't want to have to go drag and drop the sales opportunity in the pipeline as well. Like that requires me to do two things. I book the appointment using the booking appointment scheduler, right? Like the tool. But why do I have to go back and then also drag it over to the appointment stage? That would be nice if it would just update. Well, you can update it here. This is going to do that for you if you would like it to. All right. This is not beer. Okay. Just learned my lesson on that. That liquid death crap. All right. Yeah. I know what Pete's going to say. He's like, it's okay if it's beer. All right. So the trigger is event when they've any appointment that's confirmed in the in-home appointment, go ahead and trigger and update the sales pipeline. This other trigger, that's any virtual sales appointment booked, or we have different calendars in here. It doesn't matter. You can just create a trigger that says appointment, and you can filter and make filters like, hey, it must be in this calendar, like the closer calendar, and hit save. Oh, and also it can't just be in that calendar. I want it, let's say anybody who the user is Brent. You can do all kinds of filters. Okay. So, but in this case, it's customer booked an appointment with Brent. That's my example I'm showing you. But it can meet any one of those triggers. It doesn't have to meet all of them. It just has to meet any one of these, and it will trigger this action, which will just simply move them into the right stage. That's it. It saves you a ton of time when you're doing that over and over again. Got it? So there's one. Another one, opportunity status updated. Let's see what this one is. Updated to lost or abandoned, add to long-term follow. Ooh, this is a good one. So what this means is, here's the triggers. There's 2 of them so far. You can add more if you want. If we move the status to lost in the sales pipeline, if we move it to lost or change the status, I should say, then go ahead and just put them and we'll do these actions, but most of all, add them to long-term follow-up. So is the workflow, or the workflow trigger is pipeline to lost, put them in long-term follow-up. If this is abandoned, it puts them in this. I need to build a branch for you on this, actually. Hold on a second. I'm going to build build something for you guys. I say, what's the status, right? This one is lost, and I want it to go if the pipeline's lost. And then in this one, I would say this one's abandoned. And this is only if you use the abandoned. I know a lot of people don't use the abandoned status. Abandoned. And then you can say workflow trigger is abandoned. So what this is doing is making decisions for us. It's kind of nice. So these are the triggers, but I want different updates based on which trigger, right? So I'm like, okay, I should have said, what's the status? There we go. There. And then it's saying the answer is lost. If it's lost, then make a note that the opportunity was changed to lost. So that's administratively. Remember, I said you can make admin automations. Cool. Guys, let me pause and just say, I get that this is boring, but what's going to happen is, if you're a sales rep, this could just be boring. I'm guessing you're not just a sales rep if you're on a CRMX cash clinic. You're trying to learn how to take advantage of CRMX or what it even does. Well, as a sales manager or business owner, this is saving you a shit ton of time. That's what I'm showing you, is keeping you organized, the reporting accurate, notes, paper trails, everything's there for you. It's in the CRM. It's keeping you organized. It's going to save you weeks and weeks and weeks per year of time. of your own time, not to mention everybody else on your team. Okay. So that's all we're doing here. I'm showing you very basic stuff. It sounds very basic, but it's important that you know that how to operate it, and that it's important that you know you can do this in your own CRM. Okay. You can have our team help you with this, by the way. It's not like you have to know how to do this. I get this looks really complicated, but know that basically when you update the pipeline to lost, it's going to make a note and then it's going to add them to long-term follow-up workflow automatically for you. And then on abandoned, I'm going to make up a thing here for you guys. Let's see. I'm going to get rid of this other branch. It's being funny. So I'm going to go ahead and just add this. I'll show you how I would add this. I can say copy, but I want to copy all the actions, not just this action. I want to copy all the actions from here and down. So you say copy all actions from here. And then when you say copy, it shows you these spots where you can paste it here. I wish it actually said paste here instead of copy here, but oh well. So it's copied. Now I want to paste it right there. Got it? But I do need abandon. I do need to change this. It says to abandoned, right? Abandoned. I can't spell abandoned. Apparently abandoned. Oh boy. And then but I do want them to be moved into long-term follow-up. So that's it. That's the only difference. This right here, I'm not going to worry about for now. Otherwise, you can delete actions. Okay. Like I can just go like this, boom, delete action, right? So we're good. Save. So now what that means is every time that somebody marks, and let's go test this, okay? Let's go test this out. This will save you a lot of time. I'm going to say this appointment, I've been trying to reschedule with Steve Rogers on this opportunity. It's not working out. He's not rescheduling. He's too busy. He just wants to work on that other deal that we have with him here. Let me get rid of my, okay. So here's all my deals. And I have 2 deals, but he's not really wanting to do this one. I'm going to mark it as lost. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and just, in this case, I'm going to drag it there to lost. Got it? So it disappears, right? Remember, it didn't delete. It just was marked as lost. It stays in the stage, by the way, so you can see which stage they were lost in. So if they were lost and you never got a hold of them, they'll stay in new lead stage. They're just marked as lost, interested, lost, so on. And what's nice is because of that, remember the triggers I just made? Let's go check out the Steve Rogers opportunity and see what happened. Okay. So I'm going to first turn on my filters and show, let me see my lost deals as well, just so you can see that they're in here. Excuse me. Just wait for a second, guys. My internet's being really bad right now, so it's giving me a little bit of trouble. One. Oh, I think I marked the other one as 1. I just realized I marked that as 1. I'm moving too fast. That's funny. I did. I saw myself. I remember I dragged it down to 1. I meant to drag it to lost. So let me change that. Lost. And then you can do a lost reason if you want. And by the way, if you don't have reasons, you make them up as you go and they become your default reasons. So like all I have to do is type a reason. What I would suggest you do is you think through all the generic reasons that they might be lost. I would say like failed credit is 1, right? And you can say subprime, it doesn't matter, but like create a new lost reasons pops up. And then if there's another one, I could say, let's say moving soon was another one. I know that it doesn't mean for sure you can't save that deal. It just means this is the main reason why you lost that deal. They're moving soon and they told you that's why. Right. So now I can choose from those 2. And as you can see, you can just keep typing and creating more if you wanted. But I'm going to say this one failed credit. They just weren't, or let's say they're selling the home. So I'll mark moving soon and confirm that's why he didn't want to do that. So There's our lost deal. Okay. And you can see that if I change my filters, here's my lost deal, lost, and it gives you the reason, moving soon. That's cool. Okay, great. But what I wanted to do is there were some automations when I marked it as lost. It should have made a note. Let's see if it did. Yep. So it made a note, opportunity changed to lost. So that is automated and it does a timestamp for you. And it noted that it added them to the long-term follow-up weeks 6 through 10 because they've already been in long-term follow-up. I'll just tell you that now. They've this contact record I put in several. You can see they've already been added to week 1 through 5. And so it recognized that it's already been week 1 through 5. So that's pretty cool. That's another side note that it automated. And then it put them into the next set of 5 weeks of follow-up. So that's pretty badass. And it's automated for you. So what does that mean? Well, when I say automated, the follow-up, I changed them to lost. Do I need to put them in long-term follow-up now? Do I also need to remember to do that? No, I do not. If you go check his record, Steve Rogers, and I can see Steve Rogers, I can see which ones he's in. Like when I say he's in, I mean which workflows or pipeline or automation they're in. It's right here under campaigns / workflows, and there's past ones, but I want to know what active ones. Look, active long-term follow-up. So he's in here. Steve Rogers is. That means in the next few days he's going to start getting follow-up emails long-term. He'll start getting follow-up emails in about a week, and they're generic, nice, just basic long-term follow-up emails. But you can see that's how this will work, and it's fully automated. So again, if my goal, remember the back at the beginning of the stage, is to show you how to automate your pipeline, work your pipeline, keep it simple, make it easy to follow up. All you have to do is update it, make notes, and if you move it and mark it as lost, it's going to go in long-term follow-up. You don't have to like start following up. You just know it's going to happen. The last thing, how they get into long-term follow-up too, and automated for you, I'm going to go back to the automation, is if they go stale. So let me show you that. Stale means they haven't been touched or updated, that the sales opportunity in that pipeline. You have not touched it, updated it, nothing. And so that's called a stale opportunity. Okay. So I'll show you that. Opportunity status 1, stale opportunities move to long-term follow-up. So in other words, if I didn't touch that thing and I forgot, and my pipeline would otherwise become full, excuse me, it would otherwise become full and crammed up with a bunch of old leads. Well, I don't want it to do that. Again, so if it's been more than 30 days, you can change this setting, by the way, as a CRMX user. You can come in here and change it. But here's what it does. This little trigger says, hey, if they're in the sales pipeline for more than 30 days, and this is just specifically for a stale opportunity, then it will move it out of the pipeline, or it'll take these following actions. 1, remove from all workflows, because we don't know which workflows they're in, but that opportunity is stale. 2, update to abandoned. That's the status. We're abandoning this. We can't get a hold of them. Lost, traditionally, by the way, people ask what's the difference between lost and abandoned. Abandoned means in our world, this is how we define it. I would just suggest you follow this, is abandoned means you are abandoning this. It's not working. Like they're non-responsive. That's it. It's abandoned lead. Lost typically means I had an opportunity to close this thing and I lost that deal. So that's an appointment booked, appointment kept, or you sat down and the deal is lost. Typically it's appointment kept, deal lost. Okay. Everything else you can just qualify as abandoned if you never had an opportunity to close the deal. Good. So that's why it marks it as abandoned. And then it makes a note for you automatically abandoned after 30 days of no activity, stale opportunity, added to long-term follow-up. So again, this is stuff that if you go back to their contact record and wondered why they're in long-term follow-up, you're like, oh, got it. It was automatically abandoned after 30 days. I didn't touch that opportunity apparently for 30 days. And then it added them to long-term follow-up. Good. So that is another automation that's already there. It's already ready for you. You guys just make sure it's on. I'm pretty sure when you sign up for CRMX, this is already on, but you can publish it or unpublish it if you don't like it. And let's see what else. Stale opportunities, referral, opportunity status change to 1, take several actions. Let's see what actions it takes when we mark it as 1. If you change it to the pipeline, is 1. Let's see what admin stuff it does. Okay, it makes a note that it's 1. It gives it a closed deal tag. So if you ever want to have a list, tags are a good way to segment your contact records, guys. So like that just simply means, hey, I want a smart list is what it's called in CRMX. A smart list is show me everybody with that tag, so I can like send them a text message, or I can. So if I have 100 closed deals that were won and they got this tag, I can go look them all up by that tag. Does that make sense? And I can do whatever action I want with them. Okay. I remove them all. I remove them from all workflows, any of the follow-up workflows or anything that they might have been in. They're now gone, so they don't accidentally get any more follow-up because we closed the deal. And then this is just for reporting. It notifies us and our team of the good news, which we get to celebrate with you. So you don't have to do this. It's not required. This is just us. So if you click on this, by the way, you'll see that note. If you forget what this is, why isn't it let me? Oh, there it is. Comment notifies our XFU team. Well, it's extreme follow-up team, we call it, but you can call it CRMX team. We used to call ourselves the XFU team quite a bit. But the point is it's notifying our team, and we know, and we don't share that information. It makes a note of it. You could also delete this if you didn't like that. Delete. Okay. Point is this automation is here for you. It's ready to rock and roll. You're awesome when you're closing those deals. So let me review this. You have a sales pipeline. You have the stages. You now know you can look at your pipeline or your dashboard and see everything. And you have all these cool automations. You can automate even more if you'd like, depending on how you move things. What I also want to tell you, remember not to automate communication when you move stages, because if I'm like, oh yeah, hey, every time I move them over to reschedule appointment, I want it to like start attempting. I want it to trigger an automation that attempts to rebook this appointment with them in the reschedule appointment. Well, that's cool. It's good concept, good thought. But what if, and this is definitely going to happen a lot, what if Sarah's been in here for a week? You forgot to update the fact that they didn't show up to their appointment a week ago or 2 weeks ago or however many days ago, and now you move Sarah over. Guess what? It's going to send them that automation saying, "Hey, sorry I missed your appointment today," or your whatever the automation says, and they're going to wonder if you're crazy or not, and they're going to, and it's impersonal, and you're going to hurt your opportunity to reschedule that appointment. So what you want to do is don't make any automations that communicate with the client or the potential client when you move stages. Okay. Please don't. That's one of the things people think is cool. Don't do it. Excuse me, man. My cough is still here, guys. I've been trying to get over this for a while. All right. Let me look at questions and take questions here. Pete, you're the main man here tonight. So thank you for being here. Hopefully this has been helpful, but I mean, frankly, if I had a sales team, this is all I would do. I'd work this sucker like crazy. I'd be filling this pipeline up. I'd be double checking it. I'd keep everybody accountable. I'd be saying, all right, Steve, how are you doing? Pete, how are you doing with your leads? Looks like your pipeline's full, but it looks like we need to, and let's say a bunch of them were in here, right? I'm like, hey, Pete, why don't we work on rescheduling these appointments, and then let's go out and get some more leads, right? Or let's go follow up with these other people who are interested. But when you're working your sales pipeline, you don't want to start from the front. I always say work your pipeline backwards, which means work your hottest leads are the ones over on the right. That's, you start here and you follow up with these people, then you follow up and get these rebooked. But and then you don't need to really follow up with anybody that's in the booked stage. That's going to happen soon. If they're in the book stage, it means the appointment is pending, right? And there's automatic follow-up for that anyways. And then you go into the interested, start contacting them, go into new leads, trying to get a hold of them to see if they are interested. So that's what I would be doing, working these pipelines like crazy. And what you'll do every day, if you do that, guys, I promise you, fill up these with leads. And every day you come in here, you'll see a significant increase in just productivity and focus, and most of all, in closed deals. So, and each week you can come in here and have fun and be like, show me all my one deals, baby. And you can go like this and say, let me see them. And here they are. And if you don't want to see your lost deals, that's totally fine. Just click like this. You say, and you can even say, don't even show me my open deals. I want to see all my trophies, right? Like, how did I do? Boom. Here's all my one deals. And you can come in here each week and say, great, this is what I did this last week. This is awesome, right? By the way, you can filter by dates, just so you're aware. Follow, and you can filter by owner. Show me only those with this owner or these followers. But what I was going to show you is updated on, I would just say, in the last 7 days. You can do like a report essentially for yourself if you updated them in the last 7 days or the last whatever. Does that make sense? So let's see if 30 days is the one. Yeah. So in the last 30 days, I've marked this one as 1. We're all good. And I know that in the last that report, I have 1 deal. Cool. So this is really cool. Let me back up here. Okay, backing up. Say you did not want them to see the information. Could you create a duplicate and not assign a follower? Yes, Pete, that would be fine. You can create a duplicate. That would get messy and probably overkill. Why? My question is why don't you want them to see it? That becomes the question. You saying naughty things about each other? Let's see. You can skip the last. I don't know what that means. You can skip the last. Price, yeah. There you go. So you were just telling me here, price, failed credit, renter. Yeah, you can put all those in here, Pete, for those lost reasons. Pete, you mentioned you can have multiple views like per team. But could you set up a team per se that would be commercial leads, then another team for resi leads? Yeah. I would set up 2 different teams and 2 different pipelines. Especially commercial. Commercial is definitely a different pipeline stages. They have different way. Like I guess you theoretically, it's not that different than this, but you might have a holding stage slash it's pending, contract pending, because the contracts typically are you're waiting. You send the contract, you're waiting. You're not just closing same days, or you're not sitting in front of them closing. You sent the contract. They need 4 people to sign it sometimes or whatever, right? So you can have what I would do is have a contract sent and pending stage and the contract signed, and then of course or 1 stage there. Let's see. But yeah, okay, I saw, of course. But yeah, I would go. I don't know if your question is Pete, right here on screen it says, but could you set up a team per se that would do commercial? Yeah. I mean, the teams are, I think this is what you're asking. I'm not sure. You can restate your question if you'd like, but when you go to team management, you actually have teams and you can create different teams. Which are under calendars, I guess. We've moved that here. But still, you can create a group of people who are on a certain team. And when you book appointments, your automations say, "Oh, that's a commercial appointment booked with that team, the commercial team." So therefore automatically put them into the commercial pipeline. So right now it's all under the solar experts pipeline, these groups. You can put them in I could create a calendar that's just for commercial, or a group of calendars that's just for commercial. And how you would automate that, by the way, just to remind you, okay, well then how do I get them? First of all, you would need another pipeline. So I'm going to hurry and do that just for your demo purposes. This is fun. So commercial sales stage, new lead. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. New lead, qualifying. Let's pretend this is different. Let's just show how different we can be. Booked appointment, reschedule appointment, right? That one's probably the same because you need to reschedule appointments that no show or cancel. And then what else we got? This one might be contract sent or pending. I'll just say sent. And then you're waiting, right? And then if you win the deal, remember, you don't need a stage for the one deal or signed. So let's say this is it right here. I don't need this in my pipeline here. And boom. Now I have a commercial sales pipeline. Great. So I can come in here. There's my commercial sales pipeline. And here we are. But how do I get, when appointments are booked, how do I get them to show up into the pipeline automatically as booked or whatever? Well, you would have to set up you would have to set up a calendar that's for commercial only. And assuming you know how to do that, I'm not going to go into that, but you set up a new calendar like this. I'm not going to go through the steps. I'm just going to show you where it's located. You go into here, you go into calendar settings, and you say create calendar, and you can go through, I would say, a round robin calendar right here. Okay. And then you put the people who are involved in that. Even if it's one person, you would still use a round robin. It's just not going to round robin. It's going to go to one. But if you have two, it'll round robin, however you want it to. But now that you booked an appointment, you want it to automatically update your sales pipeline, move them into the booked appointment stage automatically. That's under your automations. And you'll see, you'll create a workflow. I'm just going to do a really fast one, guys, because we're running out of time. In fact, I think we are out of time. And you can name this whatever. New commercial appointment, sales appointment. And you're looking for a trigger, which is appointment status. Normal. Appointment type is normal, but I want appointment is in this calendar. But I remember I didn't do commercial calendar. I just showed you. So let's pretend this is the commercial calendar, closer calendar. Okay. Pretending. And then I want the status is confirmed, which means you've confirmed you're taking that appointment. That's all that means. So that trigger's ready. And now I would just say the action is opportunity. You want to create / or update an opportunity. In this case, it probably already existed when you're booking an appointment. So it's probably just going to update it. But the key here that I'm trying to show you is you're going to select the pipeline. That's where that's where you figure out how to do the automation to which pipeline. And you say booked appointment. You can tell it to update it to that stage. You don't even have to put anything in the name. It'll just keep the same name that's already existing, or it will add the first and last name of the contact record if one does not exist already of the opportunity card. And then the status should be open. It's still an open opportunity. And then I go ahead and toggle this on just in case they're in a stage that's after this and they're coming back to the booked appointment. I toggle that on. And yeah, you can allow duplicate opportunities if you want. Oh, excuse me. You would have to do it this way, but you have one or the other is what it's telling you, which makes sense. But we're not gonna allow duplicate opportunities in this case. It'll still allow you to do duplicate opportunity cards, but this right here is allow opportunity to move to any previous stage is the one you want toggled on. Okay, so now I hit save action, and you can make a note if you want. And I'm just showing you how I'd go about this. I'd hit publish and I'd hit save. And now anytime you book an appointment with the commercial calendar, it's going to update that opportunity in the commercial booked appointment spot. And now that administrative stuff is just happening for you, right? So, all right, that's it. I want to stop right there. It says way too much text. I'll tell you that the next time we chat. Got you. Just keep commercials separate from Resi. Oh yeah, that's it. I keep nodding my head when you ask questions, like you can see me. That's awesome, Pete. I'm glad you're here, man. Hopefully this helps you though, and anyone else watching. Yes, you can create pipelines. You can see your pipeline stats on your new dashboard. You can create new dashboards, and you can, by the way, Pete, you can have a Resi dashboard only, and a commercial dashboard only. So that way, and then only your Resi people can see that versus not, right? You can have it, or you can share it with those people, I should say. But either way, your dashboards are here. They're showing up based on your pipeline, right? You're like, cool, show me my commercial sales pipeline. And I have them all here. I see my percentages. As I move them through, it's automating them in the background. It's making notes. It's putting people in long-term follow-up if the deals go cold. It's doing all of this for you. And really all you're focusing on is one thing: getting new leads in here, contacting them, qualifying them, getting them booked for appointments, and showing up and closing those deals. And then you just move them around. Now your CRM is just cooking for you and doing a lot of stuff in the background and keeping you organized and focused on what's most important. All right, that's the end of our training. Thank you for being here on the CRMX Cash Clinic. Until next time, which, by the way, next time is next week. Okay, so be here next week. What are we talking about? If you go to CRMX Cash Clinic's page right here, there's usually the schedule is updated here. It looks like we're talking about lead scoring and leveraging lead scoring. So there's some new lead scoring stuff out. That'll actually be a really good follow-up to the pipeline today, because now it's like, hey, let's pretend your pipeline's full. And you're just, man, there's so much. I only have like 20 minutes today to do some follow-up. Who should I follow up with? You can follow up with those who have the highest lead score, and it'll keep you focused on those who are hotter leads than others. That's what lead scoring is going to do. So we'll talk about how to set that up in CRMX. And then the following week, right before Christmas happens, the week before Christmas holiday, is going to be the Calendar Kings. So we're going to talk about how to set up sales calendars and automation, and all of this you can see builds on each other. So be there. Come join us. You can also watch the recordings as well. And if you just register, you'll get the recordings sent to you, and you'll have a link to watch those recordings. So if you go ahead and register for these, it's a better idea to do that here. And that way you get reminders and the recordings sent to you. Okay, thanks for being here. Have a great rest of your week. Later.